a retired police sergeant that took the turn of his life as he made the decision of becoming an inspirational author, with the only goal that his books reach someone out there. A devoted family man and a man of faith, his journey into writing what could be described as divine intervention, now a passionate storyteller working already on a third book. His goal is not just to entertain, but to spark thoughts, faith, and reflection in readers. He wants his stories to change lives, not just fill pages. So today we say, welcome to Writing Inspiration with Marquee Books. Hello Stan, how are you? How are you feeling today?
Pretty good, Daniel. How you doing? I'm doing fine.
Oh, I'm great. So Stan, what's the story? What made you decide to become a writer?
Due to myself being medically retired, I had to find something to do with myself, and I was feeling down, depressed. Me and my wife started going to church, and so along the lines, divine intervention, God decided to say, hey, here's a story. Why don't you start writing it? And that was my first book, called the Judas Conundrum, and called Divine Intervention, God, whatever. It began writing itself. And one day my wife started looking at what I was writing. She goes, I didn't know you could write. So I started writing. And I'm glad I did, because I love to write now. I really love to write.
Okay. So tell me, what is your day job?
Actually, I'm trying to become a full-time writer because I'm medically retired. I can't return to any type of useful employment because, unfortunately, when I medically retired, I was told by the state and the federal government that I have no transferable skills because I was a police officer for almost 30 years, which makes you feel old because you have no transferable skills. So I am currently retired, attempting to become a full-time writer. I have Millie's story, which I finished, and I'm working on Sacred Deceptions, The Last Pope.
When are you planning to release Millie's stories?
Millie's story I am hoping to release hopefully by next week. I have Marquis that's working on the final trailer for me, and once I want to release the trailer and then release the book. That way, it's like you going to the movies.
No, it's okay. It's okay to do that. I think it's a good strategy. Oh, okay, perfect. So tell me, did you ever thought this will happen in your life, becoming a writer?
No. Well, when I was 14, I wrote a lot of stories, but I had people saying, you can't be a writer, you're not a writer. And at 14 years old, people can have a lot of input on your mind. So when I medically retired, you know what? I love to write. I have 1,000,001 stories in my head. I'm just hoping I could get most of them out before I pass away. But yeah, I love to write.
So tell me, how long did it take you to publish your debut work?
The Judas Conundrum, I wrote that in roughly 6 months, and it took me almost a year to publish it because I had a company, which I will not name, who was trying to help me self-publish the book, and the only thing they wanted was more money. So I had to figure out the self-publishing thing on my own, and I really wish I would have found your company because you guys actually helped. Marquee actually helped out a lot and gave me hints and notes and how to do this, how to do that.
Yeah, so we mostly help people to self-publish. We are not really publishers ourselves.
But you guys are very smart. You helped me out with Millie's story on how to get it published on, or find the steps how to get it published on KDP, Amazon,
and Ingram's part.
Yes, thank you. And Barnes & Noble Press.
Yeah.
So I am really looking forward to this story coming out because I've had some friends already read parts of it, and they said parts of this book brings tears to their eyes and joy to their heart.
It actually does. I experienced that myself when I was formatting your book.
Oh, see, I did not know that. You formatted my book. Thank you very much.
Well, I proofread it. The one for which is kind of the same in a way, but yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
What is your professional intake on the book?
Well, if I will say that I actually told the girls on the support email that to tell you this. I don't know if they did, but I tell them that after chapter 6 the book is actually good, but before I feel the story is too slow.
Okay.
And when you are starting a new book, you need a catch at least on chapter 1, so make people stay till chapter 6 where
Right.
things get good.
Okay. I see. That's the other thing some young writers need to understand. Constructive criticism is honestly by far the best criticism you will ever receive. If somebody says, "Hey, you're a great writer," and looks at your book and says, "You're perfect, you're perfect, you're not learning anything. Nobody's a perfect writer, and that's my opinion.
I have some issues with the ending too, but I think you
Oh
already explained that to me because it needs to be like that. It needs to be more real in that way because things didn't get better really after that. I'm not going to spoil
no.
much.
Well, that's there's one chapter in there. Some wounds never heal, and I put I don't know if I don't know if you read the ending. I don't know if you could say it's a happy ending. It's more of a hopefully to help certain people who pets get over their
The impression I got with that ending was more like goes on, and more than a bad or good ending is just an ending.
right. Well, yeah, you know what? That's funny because my wife has always often said that it's like you have friends, family, and they pass on, and life keeps going on. Well, I want an ending that I wanted the ending to be like that, but also be in your mind that I know atheists and other people don't believe in same things I believe, but I want people who love their pets to believe that there is a better place once they pass away. Their souls go to heaven. Their souls actually are waiting for us. It hurts. Trust me, when I had put Sonny down, I was the one holding his head,
No.
and that really sucked because me and Sonny were really close. So nothing hurts more when you have a pet that you've had for so many years, and you have to actually let him go.
Yeah, I mean, they were basically your children, at least based on what I read.
Yes, they. I don't know how you are, Daniel, but people who have pets and just keep them in cages or keep them in the house, or we've had people that have dogs, and one thing they do is feed them, let them go out. If you don't interact with your animals or pets, I don't know, if you don't interact with your pets, why even have them?
Exactly. Actually, I'm inclined to that because the reason I don't have anything like that right now is because I really don't have the time. If I
Right?
don't have if I don't have the time to compromise, I don't want to make an animal suffer.
Exactly. Well, that makes you a good person then.
And oh yeah, well, the book is about birds,
Yeah.
so I do have this opinion that it's better to have birds outside of cages. I don't really like people that have birds or fishes because tanks are exactly the same as cruel as cages, and I don't like people cutting the feathers
The
of the
feathers.
birds so they can fly and run away. But I mean, I see it myself. There are parrots
Yep.
around me that live in fruit trees around my house,
Oh
and
wow.
they sometimes get close to people to eat what they gave them. If a
Right.
bird wants to be close to you, they will.
Well, I agree with that 100% because honestly, we had no intentions of ever being bird parents. Millie, that's a story. We went in the pet store because my wife lost her hedgehog. Not lost, her hedgehog had passed away, and I wanted to
Well,
get her a new hedgehog.
they don't
So,
live much, to be honest.
well, no, they do not. So, my wife wanted a hedgehog, and into the store we went, and that's when we found Millie. Millie, you know what? Let me retract that. We did not find Millie because we were not even looking for Millie. She flew almost half the length of a football field through this aqua tropical Tropics pet store. I don't know if it's that far, but to me it seemed that far. Around 2 pillars and landed on my shoulder. It's like there were other people in that pet shop. So why she landed on me is only God knows. So, and we never cut her wings. We never trimmed her wings. The only thing we kept up on was we had to pay for, no, I take that back. We had to pay for having her beak trimmed because birds' beaks will, if they're not trimmed, they'll grow. And my wife took care of her talons and all her other bird care. But we never kept her in the cage except when we left grocery shopping or I take care of stuff, she went in her cage. But mind you, her cage was one of the most expensive cages we could find, and it was huge.
Well, at least she was comfortable.
Yes, but I felt sorry for her because, from what we understood, a lot of these birds people take to the pet stores because they don't realize that they require a lot of attention. And after a couple of months, they're like, "Oh my gosh!" Take them to the pet store, they surrender them. It's like people that want to buy these birds or adopt these birds because they think it's a cool thing to have. Don't do it because birds require a lot of attention, and keeping them in cages, like you said, Daniel, keeping them in the cages is just mean and cruel. They need to be out. They need to have fun. Millie used to love playing the chase game. I mean, Vicky would put her on her hand, and we'd go to the park. And Vicky, my wife, would say, "Go get Dad," because I'd be running ahead with Sunny Dog, and her wings would just going 100 miles an hour, flying. Would not let go of Vicky's hand, but she knew she was flying.
Exactly. In the end, if they want to be with you, they will.
Yep, I agree 100%.
Yeah. Honestly, it's basically the same with rabbits. People tend to misunderstand rabbits a lot too. In that case, they are very emotional creatures too. And
I love rabbits.
Needs a lot of care. A lot.
Rabbits too.
Yes, they need a lot of care. It's not that simple. And if they are alone, then they get depressed. So it's better to have them with other animals. So yeah.
Okay. I did not know that.
At least if you want them to live to 10 years, because that's the maximum that a rabbit can live.
Okay. Yeah, umbrella cockatoos, domesticated cockatoos, they'll live to 75, 80 years old. So.
Oh, yeah. I did hear that parrots live to 100 years.
Yeah. Macaws and the bigger ones, yeah, they'll live. So that's the other thing. And I wish I would put that in my book, and I did not, is that if you're an older adult or middle-aged person, and if you're going to adopt one of these birds, you need to have a plan, because
they will outlive you.
Yes, we have two other umbrella cockatoos, Baby and Snowball. Baby is 28, Snowball's 8. No, he just turned 9. So they're going to outlive us, but we have a granddaughter who will, when we pass away, she gets them, and we have made various. You will not separate them, and any money that's left, depending on which of us die first, the money that's left over will go to take care of our feathered children.
That's okay. It sounds nice. At least you have a plan.
Yeah. Well, yes, at least we have a plan.
Well, going back a little bit, do you have any advice for new writers starting up now?
I do. If you want to write, be a writer. Push it. Don't quit. If you think you have a story, you have a story. Do not let anybody say you cannot be a writer. And if you want to be a good writer, this is a football cliche I found out that really works good. Find somebody that is better than you, and then have them teach you, have them push you. My wife is my biggest critic, and she reads my books, reads my manuscripts, and I said, don't say I'm good just because we're married. Point out stuff that's not good. And she wrote the prelude to the Millie story. That is all her. But don't quit. If your heart desires to be a writer, be a writer. Don't quit.
Okay. So, did you do your own edits, or did you hire an editor?
My first one, I did a program, Judas Conundrum. I had a program help me out and do the editing. And like me and you spoke earlier, I wish I would have found Marquis earlier for that book, because I've read what you guys have helped me out with on Millie's story, which I'm very thankful for.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think even chapter 1 to 6, you guys have actually helped it flow, and it flows better. So, and thank you for that advice too. By the way, for you need chapter 1 to be a eye catcher, a reader grabber. So.
Yeah. 2 always it's fine if you do some world building in 2 because people are already engaged on 1, so they will have the patience to read on 2, and then on 3 or 4 you can add something interesting and then you can go with that reading.
Right.
At least 1 chapter in between for a rest and then Strange.
Well, my third book that'll be coming out, Sacred Deceptions, Last Pope. I'll tell you, the first 2 chapters are they'll grab the reader. They'll grab the reader, and I don't. And as I progress further, I told you about the artificial intelligence stuff that they have on blah blah on the computer for writing. The only thing I will use that for is to help me if I get blocked. Writer's block, and I need an idea of how I want something to go.
I personally not against the use of AI only if it's for grammar issues.
Yeah. Okay. Because when I'm writing, sometimes my wife says I get too far ahead of myself because I see the story coming out and the story's coming out faster than I can write. So, what is that? Chat GPT or something like that. If I get stuck on something in my writing because I need a catch, something that will really grab the reader, and I have it in here. It's just not coming out on the story. I'll use Chat GPT, and basically I'll write out the outline of what I want, and it gives me what I want. And I look it over, it's like, okay, well, that's good, but I want this like this. So it's okay to use AI. Don't use it to write your whole book, because then you're not writing your book. Somebody else is.
Also, AI will just make a mess of your book.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
So, but for the new writers out there, everybody's going to get writers without fail. You're going to get writer's block.
Yeah.
Just slap yourself upside the head. Talk to somebody. No, I'm just kidding. Don't slap yourself upside the head.
So tell me, Stan, what was the most difficult thing when you start writing? The thing you struggled the most?
Honestly, it's funny. Where to start? And you're like, what? Because I know where, I can't remember who. There's a famous writer. I can't remember who I heard that from. If you know the ending, great. Now comes the beginning. So
the ending is so easy compared to the rest.
You can write the ending. You can write the perfect ending, but then you got to write the rest of the book. So it's just draw yourself out a map or an outline. Write the ending. Write the ending how you want it, and then start writing the outline for the whole book.
Right.
Some of my characters in this new book I'm writing, Sacred Deceptions, I had no idea. I knew what I wanted them to do or how they were. I already figured I could see how they looked figure-wise. I just had to figure out their names, their characteristics, what type of personalities they had, and some of them are really fun coming up with the personality traits. My secret is sometimes I watch people. I sit there and watch people, and it's like, hey, well, okay, that'd be a good way to walk. That'd be hair color, eye color, stuff like that. And my people are going to love my protagonist in Sacred Deception because it's an acronym for a very bad person, and I use a lot of acronyms in Sacred Deceptions, and when it gets to the end of the book, people are going to. I hope people say, "Oh my God, I didn't see that one coming."
Okay. Do you have like a writing routine?
Yeah, I tell everybody I find an hour a day to be quiet, sit down, and shoot. I say an hour. Mine never ends up an hour because if I start writing, it's like 2 or 3. Because if you're a new writer, you're gonna start finding out you're gonna get in your rhythm, and once that rhythm ends, stop. Because if you don't stop, you're gonna end up writing a bunch of boring gibberish.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, Danny, I deleted half of a chapter of my new book because I started reading it, and it's like the first part was great. The first part was awesome, and then it's like, no, I got to get this chapter done. And I read over it. It's like, wow, I could tell where I just gave up and just wanted to get the chapter done.
Yeah, the transition chapters are more difficult than people think.
Right. I hope you don't mind, but without giving away too much of this, the Sacred Deceptions has to do with aliens, UFOs, and religion.
Oh, that's okay. I have seen many stories out there with, gods being aliens.
Well, this one has to do with, and honestly, it doesn't give anything away in the book. It has to do with the government and how they are now telling people about the UAS. Is it UAS? Whatever they call them. Unidentified aerial phenomena, and how there are aliens. And basically, it's like this government, aliens, religion, and what they believe in, and how the government is going to purposely make people be deceived. So it's but
okay.
I don't want to. I'm not a person that's going to push my religion on you because I'm a Christian. I believe in heaven. I believe there's hell. I believe the government is sometimes what.
Yeah,
let me put it this way.
I prefer the state to be a way of basically everything, religion, health centers, everything. The state should be just away from everything.
Right. Are you in the United States or where are you at?
Oh, I'm not in the United States.
Okay, you're okay. I'm a firm believer that I'm prior military also, and I love my country. I love my flag. But if it ever comes to defending a politician or defending my country wins. I'll defend my country. I'll defend my American citizens. But some of these politicians, you ever watch that movie A Few Good Men?
No, I didn't.
With Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise. There's a phrase he says in there. I'm a firm believer. Either pick up a gun, help me stand a post, or just get out of my way. It's a Marine thing that says we defend our country. They will defend their country tooth and nail. But if you're going to complain about what we've given you for freedom and how many of our brothers and sisters have died, stop complaining. Just go away. Because America is not free because it's free. America is free because a lot of men and women have died to make us free, not politicians.
True. So, that's exactly what I said. What I said right now. That it's better is the state is a way of everything else.
Yep.
Honestly, less government is better government.
Yes, I agree. And this book it'll anger some people. It will make people upset about the government and understand why the government does what it does.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's interesting.
So, yeah.
Oh,
it's like
go ahead. I was going to ask you if you can tell us a bit of your first book. A little promotion too.
Oh, the Judas Conundrum.
Yeah, I mean it's out, right?
Yes. It's an inspirational book about 5 people who have lost their faith, and the protagonist, who is he's a firm believer in everything from the Old Testament, and he was brought up that way by parents who did not understand that he had a mental issue. And as he grew older, they got him on medication, and he was fine. And when he goes to college, he figures out, I don't need my medication anymore. Well, the main character in the Judas Conundrum, Professor Michael Xavier, he was a devout Christian, and he loses a great deal, and it takes him away from his faith, and he becomes a college professor. And he basically helps the other characters in the book find their way back to the faith. So it's a very good book. I've had people tell me it's a good book. It's the first part of it starts out with portions of the Dead Sea Scrolls, which is important because it leads into the book.
Right. Okay. And we are already talking about Millie. So you're planning to publish next week?
Yes, Millie's story. I'm waiting for the final trailer to come out. I'm wanting this to be like kids going to see a movie. You saw the trailer, now you're going to get excited about seeing the movie. So, and I've seen the trailer parts you guys have put together for me, and they are awesome. And now the new trailer that's coming out is going to be off the charts.
Okay. So, do you have a story of how you named your books?
Yeah, the Judas Conundrum came up out of me and my wife found our church, and we found our way back to our faith, and it's a play on that. It's how far can you go from God until you find your way back? I don't know. I don't know if you're a religious man, Daniel, or not, but um, God, God, divine intervention. He's the one that actually helped me put two or three of the characters together in the book, and everything else came together. In Millie's story, unfortunately, that's a tragic start for a book because we had Millie for 15 years, maybe a little longer, and she ended up with a lung aneurysm, which is a clot, and it ended up blowing up her lungs. So I started writing the story to hopefully help my wife heal. And every time she starts reading it, she has. Every time she starts reading it, she can't read anymore because it brings tears to her eyes.
Yeah. Well, seeing how everything ended, I can blame her.
I love that book. I love the story. I just there's more I wanted to add to it, but writing a book about yourself with you in it to me just kind of sounds off. And I'll tell everybody out there that's listening. Some of the parts of the book I took a little leeway on because I couldn't remember all exactly what happened.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
But as for the part that took place in the vet clinic with Sonny, that is 100% true because Millie and Sonny were best friends. Everywhere Millie went, Sonny went. Everywhere Sonny went, Millie went. And the first time we heard her say "my Sonny dog" it's hilarious because me or Vicky never even said those words. Millie knew Sonny. And that's why we started calling him Sonny Dog because Millie said, "My Sonny Dog." And it's like
they remember. So even if you didn't say it's exactly those words, they can take pieces and
put them together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just like me and you, we put pieces together of the puzzle. And so people who say birds are just repeaters, I don't believe it whatsoever. Birds are smart.
Yeah, they have their own type of smart. I agree with that. So tell me, from the 3 books you have written right now, which one is your favorite so far?
Well, by far, Millie's story is my favorite.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
But as for my the one I'm so looking forward to getting done is the Sacred Deception Last Pope, which I don't know who somebody I was talking to at Marquee. We're emailing back, and they told me there's too much in there for one book. So, which gave me the idea this is going to be a sequel. It's going to be part 1 of 2.
That's okay. I feel it's nice. Well, I haven't seen your manuscript, so I'm not sure how many pages do you have there.
Oh, right now I'm up to 248, 258, and I got.
No, that's enough for one book. I think a book should at least last 300 pages.
Yeah, this is going to be 300 pages, probably a little more, because I have to make it that long because. Trust me, the last chapter of this book is the way I got the last chapter of this book. People are going to be like, if you're a Stephen King fan or James Patterson fan or whatever, when they did sequels like that, it's like, oh crap! Then they have to wait for the next book. So that's what I want. This book's going to be just like that.
So tell me, what is your largest goal or dream as a writer right now?
To be the next James Patterson or Stephen King.
Don't we all?
No, you know what? That's not true. I want my books. I don't care if it's 1 book, 2 books. I want one of my books to change a person's life. I want somebody to read it and hey, wow! I want to become a writer or something in their art changes. I don't care about a legacy of being a famous writer. I want my book to hit somebody and change them and make them a better person, honestly. Even with this book, The Sacred Deceptions, the sequels, there's going to be parts in there that I'm hoping people are going to read. There's 2 characters, 3 characters. There's Michael, Jasmine, Peter. There's Professor Natas. I want those characters, when they're reading them, to say, wow, I know that person. I've seen them. I want to be like that person, or I don't want to be like that person. And trust me, nobody wants to be. I'll tell you right now, the protagonist, Professor Natas, nobody wants to be like him.
So, you mentioned before about, getting someone else to help you. Do you have your own support network?
I do. My wife is my biggest support. She's my biggest critic. Um, there's a couple of people in my church who have read my books, and I told them outright. I said, read my book, and if you don't like it, tell me what parts of you that you don't like." So
Do you have other better readers or authors helping you?
no, not the only ones I have help me right now is Marquis, and I do use Pseudo. That's a program that helps me. I don't
Right.
consider that an AI, but
And I will
really,
always tell you nice things. They never tell you
no,
real advice.
no. You need somebody that can give you good advice. This part's bad. That part's bad. Thanks to, like I said, thanks to you guys for helping proofing and editing my new book. But I'll tell you right now, YouTube is a plethora of information on authors, for new authors. And I can't remember her name. There's some girl on YouTube that actually I watch, and she's great at helping new writers. And I can't, her name's Mandy or Mindy or something like that. But I've watched a lot of her YouTube videos, and she's one that can make you a better writer. She helps you. She'll help out. She will help you out become the best self-published author.
Okay, okay.
So
So tell me, what are your plans for the future? Are you planning like to go to an event to promote yourself or something like that?
I have a bookstore here in Festus Riverbend Bookstore, and they are highly interested in Millie's story. And they said once it comes out, if they want to know if I will come down and do a book showing, signing. There's two more bookstores in St. Louis that are greatly interested in Millie's story. I've been around showing them what they've already purchased the Judas Conundrum from me, so it's already in their bookstores. And one of the bookstores I showed them showed the cover of the Sacred Deceptions, The Last Pope, and they said, "When does that one come out?" So I am working at getting my name out there. I'm going to bookstores. That's the other thing. New writers think it's if you were trying to get an agent or something, it's hard to get an agent. Nobody's out there to help you get an agent, and self-publishing is the way to go right now. You get all the royalties. You get 100% of royalties, but you also have to do a lot of the groundwork yourself.
I agree with that. It's not easier, but it's easier. If
Yes.
you know what I mean.
Yep. I hate to say it, but I think a lot of agents out there are they're looking for the next Royce, King, Patterson,
Yeah,
Hemingway.
but I do think that traditional publishers are like too close it up lately, so to accept new people
Right.
at these days. I don't know. That's why, and that's the reason exactly why self-publishing has become so big. Basically, everyone in this channel has been, or all my guests are doing. I want a type of self-publishing in a way or another.
Right.
Because it's the easiest way. Honestly, we don't relate with people doing traditional because publishers don't like working with us because they want to have all the credit for everything, every
Yep, they do.
step of the way. So if that's why we usually reject people that said I have a publisher. We just say, okay, can you ask your publisher is they okay working with us? And they immediately said, no, they are not. Okay, that's it.
Yep.
Because we have wasted a lot of time with this type of client that don't understand that their publishers don't want to mess with us, with other companies.
Yeah.
And then we waste tons of time and effort in covers that they won't use or pay for.
Well, I wish you guys would start going into the self-publishing business because you guys are really good at what you do. So,
We are kind of working with that. We do plan to become some type of publishers eventually. Well, technically we are because we are basically doing every step of the way till the moment. So authors can just take everything we made and just beep boop touch a button and ready on KDP, Amazon, or whatever.
Right.
So
Sorry about that.
So we're basically doing everything from start to finish, just that it's self-publishing.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could have done a better recommendation for you guys on for a review, but you know what? You guys, excuse me, hold on. You guys have surpassed my expectations completely. Because honestly, when I started using you guys, I'm like, oh my, I hope I'm not making the same mistake I did before with another publishing company. And my better half was very irritated with that self-publishing company because we lost a lot of money on that one. But you guys are good. Your book covers are fantastic. You worked with me to get the Sacred Deceptions, what I wanted on the book cover. Millie's story, you guys hit it out of the park with the book cover on that one. My wife loves the front cover and she loves the back cover. And trust me, if she didn't love it,
believe me, you help it a lot. Many authors don't want to provide all the information and then complain. So you were one of the good ones because you gave off enough to work. We are not mind readers, so yeah.
Well, the longer we work together, the more I hate to say it, the longer I work with Marquis, the more OCD you'll find me out to be. Because, like with Sacred Deceptions, the first cover is like, no, that's not what I want.
It's fine. We do need that. It's okay. So tell me, in which platforms are you going to release the books?
KDP, Amazon, Instagram Spark, sorry.
Ingram
Spark. Instagram Spark. Sorry. Ingram Spark. I'm sorry. I think my Instagram page. And then Barnes and Noble Press.
Okay. At least they have auctions.
Yep. And I would like to say that locally around this area, Missouri, I'm going to be pounding the pavement with the books to bookstores. So I will actually have the books that you can hit, touch, hold, or whatever.
Okay. So, do you maybe want to share your social media so people can check your updates on your releases?
Well, I have a Facebook page on Tertulia, Tertuilia, which is a author's website. I have 2 Instagram sites, which were SpiderCop10 and SpiderCop04, that Instagram. And I think my Facebook page is Stan.Baker2238.
Thank you so much, Stan. I think that's all for now. Thank you for accompanying us today.
My pleasure, Daniel. Thank you for having me on here.
Stan was a great guest, and I'm more than happy to have been part of his process. And today we learned some things from him. For example, how grief can spark purpose. After losing his beloved Millie, Stan found healing in writing. He transformed loss into legacy, showing that grief doesn't need to be the end of the story, but the beginning of something meaningful. And that's something that any author can take in as they create their craft. Well, thanks for coming and joining us today. If you find this episode inspiring, like, subscribe, and share this video, and give Marquis Books a try in the link below. Have a nice day and see you next week. Bye.